The AR-15 is a gas-operated semi-automatic rifle whose function depends on a carefully timed interaction between multiple internal components. The magazine consists of the magazine body, the magazine spring, the follower, and the base plate. The spring tension pushes the cartridge upward so the bolt can strip the top cartridge from the magazine and chamber it into the barrel extension. To chamber the first round, you have to pull the charging handle backward. When you do this, the charging handle engages the bolt carrier and pulls the bolt carrier group all the way to the rear. As the bolt carrier group moves backward, the buffer spring inside the buffer tube is compressed. When you release the charging handle, the compressed buffer spring pushes the bolt carrier group forward. The bolt strips around from the magazine, which is being pushed upward by the magazine's spring and follower, and pushes the round into the chamber. The bolt carrier group consists of the gas key, which connects to the gas tube, the cam pin, which rotates the bolt into position for firing, and the bolt itself. The part of the bolt that pushes the cartridge forward is called the bolt face. The firing pin slides through the bolt and is held in place by the firing pin retaining pin. The bolt extractor has a spring that turns the extractor so it can catch the bullet casing's rim after firing. At this point, when you pull the trigger, the safety selector may still be engaged. When the safety is on safe, it blocks the trigger from rotating far enough for the trigger sear surface to release the hammer. When the selector is rotated to fire, a flat section on the selector allows the trigger to rotate further. This allows the hammer to disengage from the sear and rotate forward to strike the firing pin. The hammer rotates upward through the opening in the bolt carrier and impacts the rear of the firing pin. The firing pin slides through the bolt and protrudes through the bolt face, striking the primer in the cartridge case. When the firing pin strikes the primer compound is crushed against the anvil, producing sparks that ignite the propellant inside the cartridge case. The expanding gases from the burning propellant push the bullet forward through the barrel. After the bullet passes the gas port located beneath the gas block, some of the gas travels through the gas tube and enters the bolt carrier group through the gas key. The gas expands inside the bolt carrier, forcing the bolt carrier rearward while simultaneously causing the bolt to rotate and unlock from the barrel extension through the action of the cam pin. As the bolt carrier group travels rearward, the extractor pulls the spent cartridge case out of the chamber. At the same time, the ejector pushes against the base of the cartridge case, causing it to pivot outward through the ejection port. The brass deflector redirects the ejected casing forward and away from the shooter's face. As the bolt carrier group continues rearward, it recocks the hammer. While the trigger is still being held to the rear, the hammer is temporarily held by the disconnector. When the trigger is released, the hammer transfers from the disconnector back onto the trigger sear surface, leaving the rifle ready for the next shot. When the trigger is pressed again, the cycle repeats until the magazine is empty. After the last round is fired, the magazine follower pushes the bolt catch upward. The bolt catch engages the bolt carrier group and locks it to the rear, indicating that the magazine is empty and allowing for faster reloading. When a loaded magazine is inserted into the magazine well, the shooter can press the bolt catch release to allow the bolt carrier group to move forward and chamber a new round. Alternatively, the charging handle can be pulled and released. This completes the operating cycle of the AR-15.